What's up, guys? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. I am doing my live with Chris from a Daily Refinement. We are both resellers, and I have a degree in mathematics, and I have three dashboards, analytical dashboards that help the resellers look at their data and make decisions based off of their data. So if you like content like that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications. If you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up on the way out. Today we are talking, so this is a weekly series that me and Chris have. We usually start on his channel. His live was kind of going funky, so the recording from today is going to go up after our video today. So go head on over to his channel after this to watch that. Lots of really good content. We were talking about what's happening in the realm of reselling right now, and with the pandemic, how that what's going on and how to kind of survive for that. And something that came up during that, definitely check it out on his channel so you can follow. But something that came up is kind of having this blended income. And I mean, Chris has 50,000 followers on YouTube, which, for my itty bitty channel is just, outrageous. And he's mentioned wanting to grow as well, coming out with a season 3. And so I do want to talk about having this blended income when you start to have the income, how to do it, and all of that. So I will let Chris, actually, I want to see what you're working on. How was your week, Chris? We'll start there. How was your week?
My week is awesome. So this is one of my favorite topics because people ask me, is it worth it to do
That was my
social
first
media,
question.
right? Is it worth it? Do
Yeah.
you have goals with it? It takes a lot of time. And the way I look at it is and actually I learned this from Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. When you're a YouTuber, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can be an influencer, which is you create a lifestyle and people want to follow you, and they buy the same products that you buy, and they support you through ad revenue that sponsors your channel. That's one way of doing it. You can kind of do it like I do it, where I'm more of an instructor. I have coaching products like a mastermind or courses that I sell to help people achieve goals, or I do coaching. But you have to look at it, in my opinion, one of those two ways. Either you are selling a service or a product, that's one, or you're an influencer and you sell other people's products. And the best way to monetize that, in my opinion, straight out of the gate would be product reviews. Right now, if you were reviewing the top, what are the best meals to make at home from Trader Joe's, people are going to watch that and they're going to click on it. If you have a partnership with Trader Joe's, it's going to instantly turn into money. So the way I look at it, and is it worth it, comes down to one question, which is, what is your hourly rate? And can social media eventually equal that for you? Like, as an example of, go ahead.
I think eventually, if you're not on social media yet, you don't know all the work that goes into it. Eventually is the key word, because it is very time consuming and you don't get paid anything until you get to that eventually
But I mean, that's the same
part.
with
Yeah.
being a hairdresser or a massage therapist, or
Yeah, but I feel like YouTube's much more brutal.
I
Maybe
feel
it's
like
just me.
it's less brutal than like being a doctor, though.
Oh, yes. Well, okay.
Right. So it depends on what hourly rate you're looking for. So
That's true.
it depends on your expectations for your rate of return. So as an example, for me, I would like to earn $250 an hour. Being an influencer, I would have to have 1 million plus followers in order to achieve that goal. I actually can't achieve that goal with my current following. The only way for me to reach that goal would be to do coaching and to offer a service to people. If I sold real estate and I was getting leads through my YouTube channel, that would be the only way to reach that income. Now, if you're trying to make 50K a year, that's much easier. You could just, the way I would approach 50K a year on social media is getting brand deals. If I was a reseller, I would go on the Rolo.com as an example. I would sign up to their affiliate program. I would get really good at the Rolo. I would put informational things out about it. And each time one of those sells, you make between $12 and $20. That's decent, right? So you start building up a suite of those. I have those on my Amazon affiliates. Paid for every single piece of furniture in my apartment, right? So there's no I don't have to spend any money because everything that we buy on Amazon is less than the affiliate commission each month, right? You can do it that way, but then that's the lower level of influencing. The big, if you're trying to make $1 million a year on social media. Now we're talking brand deals. You're working directly with Samsung, Sony, the big companies.
Yeah.
So it depends on where you want to go. And you can tell me what you want your income to be, and I can tell you the fastest way to do it, because I'm a social media, what are those people called? Stalker. I watch all the people that make money, and I know how they do it.
Yeah.
So it's
Which is
awesome.
why I have you here, is because you do all that work and then you just tell me. You're like my cliff notes for all of it. Because I don't actually, and this probably bites me in the butt when I'm starting out and still does. I'm not a huge social media consumer personally. And so it takes me, like, I don't know what happens on YouTube. I didn't have a YouTube channel or login until I started a YouTube. And
Yeah.
so even my husband, who's not on, I mean, he's a huge YouTube consumer for other
Yeah.
genres, but he was like, "Oh, you should do this." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing," because I don't consume it. And
But the
so
thing is, if
tell
you
me how it is.
want to be an excellent YouTuber, then you need to have a YouTube channel you can model, because
Well, that's why I
it's
have
not
you here.
it's not a secret. So this is a lesson I really learned, and you should write this down. Gary Keller is one of my mentors, one of my spiritual mentors, and he said he loves sports but doesn't watch it. And you're like, okay, what does that mean? So basically, he's looking at sports scores, and they're like, hey, this person was able to achieve this result by doing this. And he applies that to business. And I think it translates beautifully, because sports is like track and field is the best example. There's no BS. Whoever runs the fastest wins. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you look at the people who run the fastest and look at what they do, and then you add that to your business life, and it kills it. So that's how I look at YouTube. I watch YouTube, but not for entertainment. I want to know what they've done. What does their description look like? How do they do it?
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. I was looking at Graham Stephan's channel. He makes 111,000 a month in AdSense. Okay? He spends 84 hours a week making 2 videos. Okay? That's amazing. Think about how awesome that video is. It's exactly
Yeah.
what's trending right now on YouTube. It's filmed like a studio perfectly. Every single word is curated. It does exactly what the audience wants. It has them at the edge of their seat, listening to every word. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's exactly what you want for a YouTube. And every single thing is like a treasure hunt. You're watching his video, and he'll talk about millennial stuff, and he'll have staged a piece of avocado toast in the background that probably took him 45 minutes to place, but you don't know that. You're just sucked in when you're watching it, and you realize, okay, this is why this guy makes 7 figures a year on YouTube, because he's putting in the work. He's making the videos perfect. Now, if you were a coach, the best way to do it would be to figure out who you want to coach. You are somebody that I want to coach. I want to help people make at least $1,000 a week reselling. That's why this is like a no-brainer mentorship for me, because I'm telling you that my time I want it to be worth $200 an hour, including this time.
Yeah.
Right? This is time that I could be with somebody, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is it? So I have to. Me talking to you every single week lets me know what kind of challenges you're going through, what kind of emotions you're working through, what kind of challenges do you have. You're exactly who I'm looking for. A parent, you have previous business you've worked for. There's like a lot of stuff that you have going. You have a unique set of challenges that other people can relate to.
And so it's worth,
when
even though you're not getting paid and this is what, with social media, especially in the beginning, like, I'm not getting paid. It's quantity or quality over, I can't think of the words for what I'm trying to say, but you're not getting paid $250, but it's the opportunity cost. You're getting paid in the future because of what you're doing now. You're building other types of things.
I think you should maybe look at it differently. So Graham, his first video had 9 views. The first year he made like $100, and this is not missing any uploads. So under $10, like nothing, essentially, like way less than nothing. Okay, for the amount of time he spent thousands of dollars on equipment, like that's negative thousands of dollars. Okay, the thing is, you can look at what it looks like on top, and work your way up to it. So as an example, when you're reselling, I I'm copying a store that's already at the level that I want to be at. And I did a YouTube channel that I want to copy. A lot of what I want to copy is what he does. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm basically half-assing a video almost every day. This guy is full-assing 2 videos per week
Yeah.
to the
And so,
T and achieving 10, 100 times the results.
yeah, but I found too, and maybe it's the longer game when you do a much better quality video less frequently. But I found, especially when I was starting, the more consistent and the more that I was putting out content, the
But
quicker I was
how
building.
long have you been doing it?
Right. Like a little over a year.
But I'm saying he's been doing it for like a decade.
Yes,
So
right.
like it's
So I'm
very
talking
different
like,
looking at, you know, and he hasn't missed an upload in a decade. But the thing is, it's like it is about consistency, yes. But the thing is, it's I think it's harder than people think to reinvent to make it honestly a good product. So, for example, Ryaku is saying he's a YouTube consumer. YouTube consumers are on their game. They don't watch crap. They want to watch the best possible thing.
that's my husband, and I ask him all the time. I'm like, what makes you pick a thumbnail? Because I'm like, I have no idea. I don't. And so I think, I mean, in having this conversation, and I have been on YouTube a little bit more, is I
Right.
need to figure out like what makes someone
But
click on a thumbnail and a description
you
and a
should be obsessed with YouTube, how YouTube is built. You should be obsessed with how eBay is built. This is it's and then eventually you'll know. Like I know how social media works. I don't think you fully understand how the algorithm works or how to make money because to me, what I want to make can be achieved.
yeah.
I'm not executing it, but at least I know how. I can point to channels that do
Well,
what I
so
want to do.
let's talk about it on YouTube because I've watched quite a few videos on like how to get like you do your SEO and you work backwards and find SEOs that work. I feel like in reselling, there's only so many things that we can talk about, right? And so I'm basically just putting words in different places is kind of what it feels like, and then I make a video about it. Um, but how do you get these 50,000 subscribers and all of these
The thing
views?
is
Because
that's not the part that matters. The part that matters is how yeah, you saying is it worth it? Is the worth it part the followers to you?
well, I want to make money and having
Then that
followers to the views.
the views and okay, it depends again. If you're trying to um so I guess it depends on do you want to monetize the views or do you want to monetize number of views? Because I only need let me do the math here. So let's say the minimum I want to make on YouTube is 100,000. I only need um, I only need 50,000 views a year really to reach that goal if I was only doing it for money.
Yeah.
But
Well,
some
so
of
I'm
YouTube
doing it.
I do YouTube partly for fun.
Yeah. And I'm getting there too with some of the lives. And then like I'm doing YouTube, like this is, I mean, if I get money out of this, whatever, I'm having this call with you because I'm learning. And then also I have promoting the dashboard as well. So it's giving me marketing and exposure for that. I've kind of worked backwards, but it seems very daunting because I'm still so itty bitty. But we do have a few questions I want to get to in the chat. So interesting, Sarah Styles, that you started creating content without having used the platform. What motivated you to begin? And I'm going to honestly say it was kind of peer pressure. I had the dashboard and people like, oh, you need a YouTube channel. You need a YouTube channel. And I was like, okay. My husband kept telling me too, because he's a huge YouTuber. This is where it's going to go. Like if you want to promote it and get out there, that's what you need to do. And so then I just kind of started. So don't go back and look at my videos from a year ago. Amber Resells is asking, and this is one of the questions I had. What ads do you suggest putting on your videos? Do you choose all types or only certain types?
So I'm gonna move more towards no ads, because each time I would say if I was gonna look at my customer like a pro just like a number, not a human, I would say that each view is worth probably 10 cents. So if you're gonna do the ads, you're going to make a lot more revenue if you put an ad every 10 minutes or so. You can also click on YouTube and they'll suggest ads depending on how many people watch your video. And it depends on the engagement. So if you have people who watch every single word, then I would recommend you just do two, one in the middle. I'm sorry, one at the end and one in the beginning. But if they don't watch every single word, then you're going to want to basically filter it in. You're basically screwing up your odds of growing your channel if you put in too many ads. In fact, I would say if you're comfortable with not having ads the first 2 years, I would go that route. Maybe just one ad per video.
In
It
the
depends on
beginning.
if you want to grow your channel or you want to make money immediately. So,
I've actually been leaning towards that. And I think it was our last call last week. I just click it, and because I'm new, so I'm like, I just click it and YouTube will do what it does. And I actually had someone last week say, like, whoa, Sarah, way too many ads. And I've talked to a couple other people that are, if you're doing like teaching type of content, it's hard. Like we're in the middle of a sentence talking about something and then it get cuts off to an ad, right? And that's annoying for me too. So yeah, that's a good point. If you're trying to build it, less is more if you're trying to make money, but you're probably built
but the channels that make the
slower.
most money have the least ads.
Yeah.
They don't because they work with brands directly, and you can't skip if someone's like, by the way, I use a Dymo printer. There you go. Nobody in this video could skip that. I mentioned that word and gave them in publicity, right? And for me, I make between 300 and 1,500 a video. That's really high. And I
Yeah.
don't even do them. I have an awesome product that's $1,500 to talk about it, and I know it's going to take 10 or 20 hours to make that video, and I don't want to make that video right now. But that's how people that's the highest paying thing, is working with the brand directly.
How do you get brands? Like, how do you?
Okay, so this is the same answer. So Jenny girl is asking, what's the fastest way to get your first 1,000 subscribers? It's the same answer as what you asked. How do you build a following? The fastest way is actually collaboration.
Mhm.
So
Hello.
yeah, so I don't know what effect my channel has had on yours, but it's when I first started, I was really a hot topic. I was on every big reseller channel, and that was very much on purpose. I spent uh, a week coming up with 10K on the bay, which is very catchy. I bought a professional logo. I did not do what people do, which is like randomly put up content. I did not do that. I came up with a slogan, getting the 10,000 items on eBay. I had a lot of design went into before starting. In fact,
So
I probably
branding.
put 20 videos up before I launched one public. And my videos aren't even very good, but it was still like trying to see what do I want to get across? Okay, I want to be inspirational. I want to be educational. I want to let people know they can do it. If I can do it, why can't you do it? And then there was a lot of planning that went into it. Now, I mean, I would say that the last couple of years, I've just been doing YouTube for fun. The first year, it wasn't though. The first year, I was trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. And what I did was I collabed with every big channel. I came up with a good name, catchy name. I was exciting to watch, and I was around all those people. In fact, I think I've met every single reseller in person that has over 25,000 subscribers. Not all of them, but like 80% of them, I've given them a hug before. We're on that level, and they're gonna mention you in their road, and I was really useful, and that cost me a lot of money in the beginning. I flew to Las Vegas to meet Jason T. Smith, who is now not he's fallen out of the favor because he's a bully, so he's like out of the thing. But I spent time investing in all these people to meet them, and I basically rode on their coattails, as they say. And I even got in trouble for that. Some of the older guys were like, "Look at this jerk, just like coming in and jumping on people's thunder." And I'm like, this is the new game. If you're looking for fast, follow the things that it's the same thing as, okay, if you want to make money really fast reselling, sell the things that sell the fastest. If you want to do it for fun, then sell whatever you find, talk about it with your friends. The thing is, like, if you were selling Oreos, you'd probably kill it. but getting to the point where you can sell Oreos is very hard.
Yeah.
You probably need a grocery store or a gas station to get that contract.
Right. True. Valid. Um, so someone is asking, and I think this is valid, like being able to, and this goes into you saying like you built up a lot of content and got to the place where you were collab ready. I feel so small and don't quite feel like I'm anywhere close to being collab worthy. I'm not an expert in any single topic. I just do a little bit of everything pretty okay. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to say
Great,
something.
great
Yeah,
comment. Go ahead.
I'm going to say something and then you can speak to it too. But I think that's kind of social media in general is you kind of have to figure out your why, right? Why do you want to be an influencer? Do you just want to do it for fun and like meet other people and having a purpose and like this is what, and then that makes it a little bit easier to, and I'm not a pro by any means. I'm still learning, but what do I want people to walk away from this video with? What do I want people to walk away from my channel, like my brand, right? And once you come up with that, then it's not all over the place and then people know what they're getting with you too, right?
Okay, so this is a great, great topic. So you feel so small, don't quill. Okay, so here's the thing. It's I don't feel small or big ever. I just feel like what I think I am. So as an example, if I am talking to someone about opera, I don't know anything about opera. I don't feel small. I just feel like I don't know anything about opera. It's okay. And the people who want to talk about opera are the people who know stuff about it. The best way to collab with someone is ask them what they need. This is needs development. It's just like dating somebody. You can't just barge right in. That's not how it works. You have to slowly go to the same party as they're at, right? Say hello, comment on their videos, find out what they're going through. I remember I was trying to become friends with Nicole State, and she, you know what? I'm happy with giving her credit. She probably got me my first couple thousand subscribers. Okay, I went on her channel, and I actually screwed up. I was trying to get close to Nicole State, and I pissed her off. So because she said, you know, every day after work, I drive with my husband to the post office. And I wrote, hey, Nicole, I've been watching a few of your videos. Why don't you schedule a pickup? It's great for me. I'm not as big of a seller as you, but like I have, you know, and she's like, don't you even know me? It's totally more for us, it's not better to schedule. She like tore my head off for that comment. But still, you know, 10 comments later, she's like, hey, do you want to be on my show? You know, so it doesn't, I don't know. I wasn't trying to be rude to her. I was trying to be helpful. Right. So over time, you just build a little bit of a relationship. And here's the thing. Being collab worthy is just being curious. That's it. Just being curious. You don't know what the person needs. You don't know what people are going through in their life. You could just say, hey, how's it going? And no one has done that in the last year.
Yeah.
I know that I reach out to people sometimes and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, my spouse doesn't ask me that, you know, because that's like a thing. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
not that normal. I'm
And
married. Sometimes I forget to ask my spouse if she had a good day.
yeah, wait till you have kids, Chris. Then
Yeah.
it's like, did I even
Yeah.
see you today?
Yeah,
When was the
exactly.
last time we
Yeah.
talked? What was I gonna say? Oh, I mean, to this point, I rode on Chris's coattail, watched his videos, and it was someone that I liked content with, and we were interacting organically, anyways. But like commenting, and then when he had a mentorship, I'm assuming he's like, I've seen this girl's name. It's not some random person that I've never seen before. And some of the other people that I've had on here as well. I do accountability Mondays. It is open to absolutely anybody. And you come and talk about your successes and your goals for the next week. It's a great place to kind of pop that bubble if you're a little nervous about doing a collab. I'm not a big person by any means, but it kind of helps you feel a little bit more comfortable. And I'm more than happy to share my itty bitty following with anybody who wants to.
I want people to not be so hard on themselves. Like, why would you be big if you just started?
Right.
Is there some kind of rule that you have to do so many sales before you can talk? Who made up that rule? Like for example, I've never sold a single item on Etsy. I don't feel self-conscious about asking you about Etsy. I don't know anything about it. And you know a lot. But I'm just like, and I guess I just don't want people to feel so like embarrassed. Like it doesn't matter. Like
But
if
I
I
think
ask
that's
about,
kind of what, I mean, social media kind of has one, it's comparing to everybody. That's
Mhm.
what social media is. So that's just ingrained in it. And it's hard to get out of that. But it is hard to go on and talk if you don't know what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you don't have a channel about Etsy. Right.
I
And
know,
I
but
bring people on my channel all the time because I'm like, I don't know anything about anything. Let me have, I mean, Jenny Girl was on yesterday because she does consignment. And I was like, cool, let's talk about it. I don't know
mhm.
anything about it. I think that is one of the biggest things in social media is being your authentic self. And when you're pretending to talk about something that you don't know, you're immediately like, people can tell for sure.
I want to mention one more thing that's crazy. So
Hmm.
I'm looking at the different names in the chat, right? So let's say
Hmm.
reseller Wendy. For me, right? If I look at reseller Wendy and I don't know her, right? If she was going to reach out to me for a collab, I don't know anything about that name because it's too generic, right? Nothing wrong with that because reseller Wendy could be a brand name later, right? But in the beginning, it helps to have a tag. So when you're saying, "Hey, I'm trying to achieve this," right? And that's why I see like the debt-free Stacy or something. That's a name. It's easier to understand as someone that's reaching out because they're looking for some kind of theme. That makes it easier. Also, with you, I would say Sarah Styles LLC. I would prefer something that's more of an action. It makes it easier
Yeah.
for people to understand. And Sarah Styles is the Styles a verb?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Oh. These styles is something that I've had for like 10 years and I don't want to rebrand, to be completely honest. And it's
Yeah.
very encompassing. I used to do upcycle, which was style. I used to be a hairdresser, which is style. So
Mm.
and I don't want to rebrand
You don't
because
have
it takes
you don't have
time.
to
That's why.
you don't have to rebrand, but what would your tagline be? Why would I want to watch Sarah Styles?
Oh, I don't know. Should that be my homework? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. But I think that's a valid point, is coming up with a brand so that people know who you are immediately when they see something, when they read it.
I essentially did brand suicide by switching from 10K on the Bay, which is much better than Daily Refinement on a sense of what my channel is about, right? I can show anybody how to make a living selling stuff online, right? 10K on the Bay makes sense. If my store, which it will, have 10,000 items in it, I'm stuck at 4,000 right now, but like that's a better name for my reselling channel. The point is, my YouTube channel, part of it is for fun, and I like the idea of daily refinement. So I came up with that because that's what I want to talk about. So the
Yeah.
people that I care about, actually, that's not true. The people who wanted that same mentality followed me because it doesn't matter what I want. Like people do like the idea of making their store better every day. And that's
Yeah.
how I sort of look at, YouTube and look at reselling is just, relationships, you do your best. So, you know, Kimberly is saying, or
Oh,
let's talk
sorry.
about, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, where's Kimberly? Is she
No,
further
go
down?
ahead. That's okay. Go
Um,
ahead.
Personal interest in your content versus pure business strategy can either method lead to success.
Pure business strategy always leads to success. But a lot of that ends up being what you're passionate about.
Yes, I was going to say, I think it's probably a little bit of both. If you're doing business strategy on stuff you don't care about, like it's going to come across that way and you're not going to be able to put the time and energy into it. When I start talking about data, y'all can see my eyes light up and I get all excited. What were you saying, Kimberly? I'm scrolling down to
And
see.
she just says everyone has value. I saw comparison
Oh, yeah.
steals your joy. The thing is, I think you should compare yourself, but to yourself.
Yes, 100%.
And that can be exhausting too. You know, um,
But be
yeah.
kind with yourself. And this is a big thing that I, in reselling and data in general, is like pick one metrics to work on. And you kind of do this too. Like pick one thing and work on that and do better at that. Like when you're like, I'm going to do better at YouTube and I want 10,000 followers and I want 20,000 on Instagram and I also want to make this and that, then it's way too much. Say, I want this in the high end and I need to make one video a week. Like that's a small goal that you can do and say, hey, I made one video a week and now I have more views. Okay, what can I do the next time? As this is coming out, this is kind of what your channel is about, which is probably why I like your channel. but little steps to get there and compare to yourself. You're not a Nicole State, or I'm not Daily Refinement, right? Like, I'm better than I was last year. I have better views than I have this year. Slow things that you can do to get there.
Yeah, so lots of people talking about their moniker, and reseller Wendy, you probably can be the postal reseller. I don't see any issue in that.
Oh yeah, because then you would know.
Essential endeavors. Yeah, I mean, I have to head out in just a moment, but
Yeah.
I gave a bottle of scotch to the person that came up with the best name. So I actually did not come up with my own name.
As we were talking, I was thinking about I might do something with my followers, because I'm not very good at this. I'm a numbers person. I do want to be cognizant every time we are at 7:00. So you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, we're doing this mentorship. Do you do private mentorships? Do you have calls? Like, how can people learn from you? Because that is a lot of what your social media is. What is all the things you do?
So my channel is sort of a how-to channel. So I'm going to go over tips and tricks on how to improve your store and lifestyle and mindset. So for me, Daily Refinement is e-commerce, lifestyle, and mindset. Then I meet 7 days a week live with people like yourself. So in the morning, if people want to try that, I meet at 6 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, 7 days a week. You can just hop on a call and see if you like it. I do one-on-one coaching if people want that. But I actually don't think reselling is that hard. I think the hard part is just staying on track. That's why I have a daily morning call, so people can say, okay, today I just want to work on my photo station. That's it. Then go do it. Delete Instagram because it doesn't matter. Get your photo station set up. Next day, come back and be like, okay, today I want to work on my shipping. Just do that for 30 days and your store will be completely different. So I want people to stay focused. And but again, at this point, my goal is just for people to focus on getting a journal, writing down their thoughts. I'm glad that you're finding joy in that and sleeping better.
Yes. Yep. But then I feel like I'm almost a little less productive, because if it's not on my mind keeping me up at night, then I'm not like doing it right away. And then it takes me longer to get. I'm like, oh, it's written down, I'll get to it later. But then I'm also spending more time with my kids. If people want to find you, where can they find you? Like, all the things that you said, is it on your YouTube channel, or
my YouTube channel, or they can send me an email, chris@dailyrefinement.com. But everything should be updated on dailyrefinement.com. I'll work on that to make it so it is.
Yeah. All right, cool. I know you have to hop off. I'll do my little YouTube spiel. Head over to Chris's channel later tonight to see our chat as well that led to this conversation. So have a good night. I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys for joining. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out, and subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and give a thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and hit the notification so you get notified of that. On this note, I am by no means a pro in this. I am learning with everybody else. But that is part of why I have started the Mondays. I think what we were talking about, I think everybody has something to share with it. I'm not an expert in everything. If somebody always has something to share, we can all grow it together. And that's what my Monday live sessions are for. There's availability for 3 people to join the video call. You don't have to have 10,000 followers. You don't even really have to have social media. You can just come on and chat about your accountability for the week, what your successes were last week, and what your goals were for this week. So make sure it is 6 p.m. Drama Free Mama. It is 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. I have the next 2 or 3 on my YouTube already set up, so you can hit a reminder and it'll remind you that we are going live. If you want to come on with me, just send me a DM on Instagram and I will send you the link. Thanks. Flipping Gals, I'm going to give you full disclosure. So normally I just wear whatever, and I have like this little bump right here. I think it's a bug bite, but it got really red. So I had to like find a shirt that, you could go up a little bit higher so you guys weren't focused on the red shirt. Normally I don't get as fancy. But that is my full disclosure. But Mondays, join us. The Flipping Gals have been on before. Jenny's Closet. Actually, Jenny's Closet, she was following me and heard something and was like, hey, I do consignment. Let's chat about it. And she came on a live. I am always looking for people to come. I don't know all of the things. I love learning and I like providing that for the community to grow together. So if there's something that you want to learn about, I will find someone to talk about it if I can't. If there's something that you feel like you have a good handle on, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, Kimberly, on my channel, open to everybody in the comments, and then also send me a DM on Instagram if you would like to join the call. I do have the next couple set up on my YouTube, so once this call is done, if you just go over to my YouTube, you can hit the little, it'll say reminder, and then when we go live, you'll get a reminder that I'm live. So I mean, that's good too. I can't do every day like Chris because I am a mom of 3, but I do try and do once a week to help keep myself accountable, and then also for everybody else, because I do think if you have a little bit of accountability, I'm going to do this week, and you know that we're going to come back next week and talk about it, that it will help us all grow and learn together. And then as we talk about it, I usually learn something every time we talk. Oh, you're using this program, and how did you do this, and all of that. So that is my lives for this week. So I will see everybody next week on Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Give thumbs up, subscribe if you like content like this. I think that's it. Everyone have a good day.